Hello, everyone. Welcome back. We're just about ready to get into Big Push Power versus 30K Violet this evening. We've got some map bans, we've got some coin tosses that played out, but it's still going to be Goon and I leading you through this game tonight, or this series, I should say. Let's just head on over to those map selections now because the lobby is just about ready to get into game one. Coin toss was won by 30K Violet this evening. They've opted for first pick, giving map pick over to Big Push Power. The bans we're seeing: Cursed Hollow and Dragonshire banned out by Big Push Power. 30K Violet getting rid of Volskaya Foundry and Sky Temple. We're going to kick things off on Tomb of the Spider Queen. Goon, gotta know your thoughts.
Tomb of the Spider Queen. This is, we didn't see a lot of Tomb of the Spider Queen in HRCS outside of maybe just a couple teams prioritizing it, specifically Man Chickens. This is a map that the macro is dependent on just how good your wave clear is, and then how good your wave clear is, and then you can find whatever strat, whatever play style you want to play. You can find the opportunities through that. For example, we see things like Stitches comp, like pick comps happening here. You clear the waves faster, Stitches is throwing hooks, the map is small enough to where the hooks are getting value. Level 13, you have the increased range. Once the buildings come down, there's a whole bunch of dead space that's still like pretty close quarters that you have to deal with from time to time. And I mean, team fighting. There's gonna be a team fight. There's gonna be a boss take. There's gonna be some, maybe a siege camp skirmish, something like that along those lines. But yeah, I'm curious to see what off lanes for one are prioritized here, and also some of these camp timings. One of the things that I see with some of these amateur teams, these lower level amateur teams, is that they forget that the camps exist on this map. They hyper focus on the wave clear, that they forget that they, during that time when your opponent is stuck clearing your minions, you can go take your camp. Most people just end up staying there, and also trickling those gems in, turning those gems in little by little. That's an important mechanic, an important thing that you need to learn when you're playing Tomb of the Spider Queen. Some people will keep running back and forth clearing lanes with 80 gems in their pocket and never turn in for whatever reason. They'll wait until they have like 90. I'm gonna try to turn in now. Well, you can't because Junkrat's poking you out, or you're getting zoned out, or it's all on your tank.
Yeah,
just turn in.
That's one of the things that annoys me, is when the tank's sitting with all the gems and now you have nobody to zone anything out for a turn, and it makes it difficult. So, and it's really easy for gems to end up on your tank too, because they're the ones that always feel safe enough to step up and get the gems off the back of the minion wave. We're gonna get into the draft here. 30K Violet with that first ban coming up in a moment. You know, looking at the side of Big Push Power, these are some players that we've seen around before. Is there anything that you know of that they should be looking to get rid of from that first pick position? You kind of have the liberty of target banning here.
I don't think so. I think you just play straight up, kind of just test the waters, see what your opponents do, how they respond to the draft. Because I mean, you have to learn also in these divisions how your opponent. These are new opponents.
Yep.
Everyone has to figure out how to draft against each other. You and I, we've been able to watch so many games that we kind of like know what people are going to do or not do, or whatever the case may be. But these guys don't. They don't. And right away we see a first ban hogger. Like they say, Johanna, Rhaegar, doesn't matter. And that's what I love about these like competitive games like this, is right away there's people have their different ideas on how to deal with the OPs. And maybe they're going to test it out. Maybe they'll test out how to deal with the quote unquote OPs, or the OPs that OP.
We're gonna see that second ban coming in here from the side of 30K Violet. They're getting rid of the Rhaegar here, so a couple healers banned out. Those very popular healers. And there's the Joanna ban. So a little bit different than where I maybe thought the bans were gonna play out. Typically see the Joe Rhaegar from the second pick position, but first pick position got rid of it this time.
Yeah, so we see two support bans coming out from the side of 30K Violet, and no supports banned from Big Push Power. Now, we're already choking out the supports. I wonder if these supports are going to be prioritized in any way. I think Anduin is a really decent support here into Junkrat, being able to pull targets away. You remove things like Stitches, Anduin stuff. You have a play against an Anduin, or I'm sorry, a Stitches. You have a play against the Leoric as well. But instead, we're going to opt for the Blaze Sylvanas. Again, the supports, a lot of the strong supports have been choked out. We're running on a very limited pool now. And Zadie has shown she will play Stukov. She will play a Rhaegar. They're both off the table, so she might default to Brightwing or Anduin. And there's the Anduin right there.
They're going to pair that with the Leoric as well. We're still looking at another, another DPS and a tank from the side of 30k Violet. We've been seeing a lot of Hanzo Leoric pairings together, so I'm wondering if that's kind of in the back of their mind as something that they might want to try to go for here. We're into that second ban phase now. See if Big Push Power knows what they want to get rid of here.
You mentioned the Hanzo and the Leoric pairings, but I haven't seen it executed in such a way right now that I really care. That I would be worried about.
Yeah.
You probably want some more wave clear too while you're at it, and I don't like with Junkrat. Yeah, you have some decent wave clear and stuff, but I feel like you would want a little something else before you commit to that Hanzo. At least see what your opponents draft. Maybe they go Hanzo. They can do that too.
Wow, look at this healer choke coming out. A third healer ban from the side of 30k Violet. They're going to get rid of the Lucio as well. So you're looking at, like, Brightwing, Deckard. There he is. Deckard getting picked up here with a Maiev.
Yeah.
Main tank Maiev?
This could potentially be... So right now, what we're setting up to be here is potentially a big Wombo combo style composition. You've got Blaze set up, you've got the Deckard set up, AoE CC, you've got the Maiev set up, and you've got big button abilities that could potentially destroy the opponents. But they have to draft things that get killed by this thing. I see a Hanzo, I see an Anduin, I see a Junkrat that might be able to potentially die. We really need some big damage here on this last pick from Big Push Power to be able to deal with his front line and deal with Anduin. Because Anduin's going to be, if Zadie's playing with at least like half the brain, she's going to be completely safe and be able to save, she's not going to be worried about the Maiev stuff or the Deckard or the Blaze. But let's see what they pick up here. It's going to be a Tyrael.
Oh.
Okay. All right.
Interesting.
I will say the wave clear, I do like the wave clear for Big Push Power here. Being able to kill the minions quickly, fast. But also what Tyrael does is provide shielding for his own minions that delays the wave clear from the Junkrat. That's something that a lot of people don't play with. That's something that, like, I will say, like, 2% of the population actually even knows is an interaction. So, and then, hey, you got a frontliner that's also very mobile. Diablo's kind of like likes to just lock people down. Junkrat can lock people down. So you can get out.
I did have a question in chat like way earlier from Hunter, and I kind of answered him in chat, but he was asking if the pre-shows are something that I'm going to do more often. He said it feels like a sports center for something I'm actually interested in. I really like doing the pre-shows because
I like it too.
It gives me an opportunity to like sit down and learn more about these teams. Like tonight I reached out to Sovereign to learn a little bit more about their team because it wasn't as clear of a history and they haven't really been doing a lot leading up to Heroic Division. But I just feel like I'm so much more invested in the game. Chat's so much more invested in the game when they know these players, know a little bit of what's going on and kind of what to expect from these teams. So I like to do the pre-show. I'm going to try to do one before every cast. But it kind of does depend on whether I have the time or not and what time casts and stuff are. But I'm going to try to do it more often than not.
Yeah. And I mean, hey, it helps build some storylines too.
Exactly.
What's so funny is just like I just so happened to just like scrim Big Push Power the other day. I've scrimmed Bronze 6. I've scrimmed with $1 Million JPEG, Caffeinated Nights. Or I'm sorry, that was with like Wild Heart of Man. Like we're there's all this stuff that's going on. Like, oh yeah, I know these people. I know what's going on here. This is really cool.
Well, let's go ahead into game number 1 of this best of 3 series this evening. Big Push Power on the left. We're going to have Mike playing Sylvana Sovereign on the Deckard, H2O on Tyrael, Miniken playing the Maiev, and C2D2 on the Blaze.
On the right-hand side in the red, we've got 30k Violet coming in, ready to kick some ass. We've got Epic Player playing Leoric, Nagram playing Diablo, Albatox on the Junkrat, Zadie on Anduin, and Lemieux on Hanzo. curious to see how this first wave goes. Who's able to get the wave priority first?
It's not crazy wave clear at level 1 here. Tyrael does give those shields to the minions, kind of help out the side of Big Push Power as well. See a little bit of brawling break out though. H2O taking a bit of damage, Epic player as well. And the lane's going to be cleared first by 30k Violet as they start the rotation up to top.
Well, they started the rotation first, but technically the wave wasn't completely cleared. But yeah, absolutely. They're able to rotate right away. And look at this. H2O and got a little chunked out there from Limu and has to play a little bit more passive on these rotations.
Yeah, Blaze and Leo in that bottom lane. Epic player is already missing a bit of health. Did he pop the fountain or?
Yeah, that's
yeah, he did. Just checking his level 1s there. Yeah, he's gonna be down now. Look at the stun coming out from C2D2, but the Drain Hope is gonna keep Epic player feeling quite comfy in this bottom lane. Camps are up now, Goon, and it looks like Big Push Power is prioritizing getting their Bruiser camp out right away.
Yeah, and we see Zadie for 30k Violet making her way to the Bruiser camp, letting her team know like, hey, we should probably start doing this thing. They're gonna be a little late to get this out, but that being said, the Big Push Powers' Bruiser camp is going to be on the wall more than likely and get cleared up early. I want to see them get some damage done here onto these structures. They need to do that. And here comes C2D2 to rotate up.
Quite a few members here of Big Push Power. The entire team actually sitting in mid right now, looking to push in with their Bruiser camp. Epic player taking a ton of damage. There's the root going out from Deckard, but it doesn't quite connect onto anybody. We're going to see the Concussion Mine knocking that mage minion a little bit closer to take down, and H2O getting very low. An Epic player in a bit of trouble here, has a damage over time, is going to be the first to fall in this game. That is first blood over to the side of Big Push Power.
Wow, and that was even with the spell, the mage minion still being alive. What is that? What is that thing technically called? It's called a who knows what it's called? But the spell armor from that Bruiser camp was still active, and it was still able to confirm that kill.
It's a flip on a Miniken, but he's gonna use that trade on Maiev to just walk away from that. We see 30k Violet trying to get a little bit of value out of their own camp. Ooh, there's a nice Concussion Mine, but the Spirit there of Vengeance able to just reposition. Miniken not even worried. Oh, yeah. Crushinator, thanks for the raid. Welcome everybody from Crush the Stream. My name's Jazz. We're casting Big Push Power versus 30k Violet this evening. Welcome in.
What's up, man? Hopefully you had a good cast, good stream. Welcome everybody. We're out here watching these two teams battle it out. This is game number 1, by the way.
If you guys don't recognize the voice you're hearing beside me here, Goon is casting with me this evening. You can find him at GoonGGWP on Twitch and Twitter if you want to go drop him a follow as well.
This Hanzo build, by the way, this is a redemption and an ignore all distractions, straight up auto attack build. Looking to be able to put a lot of, from what I'm assuming, looking to be able to put a lot of pressure onto that front line later with the Giant Slayer with the auto attacks and whatnot. Now, we don't have the W build. Typically, we'll see the scatter build coming out from the Hanzo to be able to put a lot more damage and pressure onto, the Hanzo onto the Tyrael. Usually we'll see the scatters coming out, but
look at this all-out brawl happening for this bottom siege camp. It's going to go over to the side of 30k Violet, and they're going to find a pick onto the Maiev as well. See if they can get anything else out of there. There's a root onto Blaze. He's going to be knocked back by the Concussion Mine. C2D2 is going to go down as well. A 2 for nothing here. Maybe even a 3. No, H2O able to get out of there. And the siege camp as well picked up. This is a great, I feel like 30k Violet's feeling pretty good after that one. A couple kills and the siege camp secured in their favor, and they're going to push in, try to get a little bit of value out of it. On top of that, there's a turn-in.
Yeah, that was pretty good. That was a good read there, being able to take that camp, or invade that camp, take it, and push with it. This bottom siege camp is really just annoying to deal with. If you can never take it, it feels really oppressive. It gets very oppressive.
We're going to see 3 members down here because of that pressure that they built up. Epic player jumping into Wraith form, walking away, and here comes the Web Weaver for the side of 30k Violet, already crashing pretty far forward in this lane.
Yeah, that was good timing from Big Push Power to be able to clear that camp right away before the Web Weaver spawned, so kudos to them.
3 members here on 30K looking to push forward with this web weaver. Nagrom's going in onto H2O, but he's getting in a little bit of trouble and in fact is going to get picked off. That leap of faith not helping him out there. Zadie now in trouble as well. We're going to see Miniken getting 2 kills on the Maiev, taking down Diablo and the Anduin. Limu jumping over the wall here to stay alive. Epic player going into his Wraith form to walk away, and mid fort will fall.
Yeah, that's unfortunate that they're probably gonna lose 2 forts here. That's pretty feels bad, man. Yeah, you managed to get those couple kills, but now you're losing your forts in the process. They kind of really giga-focused on killing that Diablo and let the waves deal a little too. Oh no, they saved top fort. All right, cool, not bad. But definitely losing mid fort is it's painful. It doesn't feel good.
Yeah, this early in the game, off that early of a web weaver turn in 2 here. We're going to see the level 10s coming online here for 30K Violet. We have Dragon Arrow out from Hanzo, Apocalypse from the Diablo. So we could see some nice combos set up with that. You know, Dragon Arrow as the engage, Apocalypse to kind of follow up and keep them locked down. Oh, the Apocalypse coming out, the Dragon Arrow on top of that. And we're going to see Decker go down. Epic player is going to fall next here in this engage. Nagrom trying to walk back around. Blaze on that back line here. Here's the Riptire coming out from Junkrat now. H2O, the next to fall. 3 for 1 in favor of 30K Violet as they look to invade the camp of Big Push Power.
I for sure thought that bunker was coming out there. That was a really good look there from 30K Violet to invade that camp. To invade it, they had the level 10 advantages. That kill secured level 10 for Big Push Power. I think I only saw Maiev and Sylvanas snap lock their heroics there, and I mean, and we're still looking at a heroic choice here for Silver, and I'm unsure of which one to go, whether it's to stay a while and listen or the Lornado.
Siege Giants are back up now here. Limu and Zadie going to work on those. 30K Violet's looking pretty good right now. They're probably feeling pretty good too, having 3 forts down, but there's no turn-in on the horizon for them right now. There is a turn-in up and available for Big Push Power. The question is, can they create the space to get these gems in?
Nice. Ooh, good look on the arrow. Unfortunately, it does miss, but there's Leoric on the backside on this top getting 3v1 and is able to just Wraith walk away. That's a massive cooldown that's used there. I don't like how Big Push Power felt like they had to force a turn in there. That is not ideal, just because you have to worry about that arrow come flying out of nowhere.
Well, arrow's down now, so maybe they have a bit of a window of opportunity to try for a turn in once again.
Yeah, we got how many gems sitting on Sylvanas? 59 on Mike.
59. Yeah,
He's
Mike has a whole turn in by himself. If his entire team could just zone for him, good luck with the Junkrat on 30K Violet, though. He could just get the turn in by himself.
Yeah, Big Push Power has to be aggressive and step up, but that window of opportunity is closed.
Yep.
You have to look up and look for a fight or something, or just get enough wave pressure to force your opponent to have to back off from the point. But how do you do that when you're missing the middle fort? Like, it's not easy. So you gotta fight.
Not just middle forts; they're missing all their forts. That makes it even harder.
Yeah, exactly.
No, and now they have the Talontier advantage on the side of 30K Violet, so they're just going to be sitting back, kind of waiting till they have another opportunity to turn in. And in the meantime, we have 30K Violet collecting enough gems for yet another Web Weaver phase here.
Second Web Weaver here for sure. This should not be keeps. If keeps go down here, that's going to be very, very rough for Big Push Power. Should be an easy defense. I don't want to see 5 people stacked up in one lane. It's a 9-minute Web Weaver.
Yeah,
it should die pretty quick.
This is still pretty early into the game here. They should be able to have a defense. They shouldn't lose any keeps if they can set up a defense well enough here. You see all of the members of 30K Violet going for bottom keep. Just C2D2 and Sovereign down there to help stop that push into bottom. Here's Miniken rotating down now as well. You see H2O joining and Mike making his way down here. Top Web Weaver still has a bit until he's going to crash into that wall since that wave was pushed out. So this bottom keep more of a priority. There's the Warden's Cage coming out. The arrow being used here is huge. Stay a while and listen from Sovereign. All 5 members caught in it. Can they get the kills though? Epic player walking away with less than 200 health on his bar. Zadie's going back in. It's going to be Junkrat that falls. Then Sylvanas. Look at Epic player. Now 50 health left on his bar. Zadie's still in here. Can they get the kill on on her here. They're trying, but she's just not going down, and Tyrael is going to fall instead. A 3-for-1 right now on the side of 30k Violet, and they lost so much there.
Wow. Some gems got lost, but heads up play from Zadie, just walking up, just like kamikaze. I'm gonna just light bomb here.
This fight's not even over. They're still looking for more. Lemieux is a bit overextended, taking tower shots. We saw Blaze just fall. This bottom keep holding on for now, but look what's happening top. Bye-bye.
Dead keep, and that's gonna be another kill onto Deckard Cain. Oh, be careful. Nice entombed. There is no sanctification here to be able to keep Maiev alive. Minikin though able to get out, and looks like H2O is gonna die, but hopefully can get some cooldown reduction on their death timer. There you go.
Oh, this is...
Get something.
Oh, arrow comes out there from Lemieux, but it does not connect. This is such a rough spot to be in on the side of Big Push Power. You can't just keep inting into them here. C2D2 gonna get knocked in by the concussion mine, drops the bunker to try and stay alive, but he's coming out of this real low, and he's gonna get picked off. I mean, this is
tough.
Just stagger after stagger after stagger here. They're still holding in onto a turn-in for Big Push Power, but it's just impossible for them to do anything with it with this constant death ball that's happening.
Yeah, pretty rough. Chat, by the way, go ahead and clip that last team fight. Nice sanctification there to be able to prevent any deaths. Nice stay a while and listen. The pool, though, is pulling them out to save. Riptire was used. That's going to be a dead Sylvanas and a Tyrael. APOC combo going on to Sovereign as he goes down. Nice explosion, cooldown reduction, trait value, but it doesn't look like it's going to matter too much here as 30k Violet looking to hit the core.
Yeah, and they're doing just that, 55% and following. They're going to find themselves another kill. The GG's coming out from the side of Big Push Power. This 30k Violet will be taking game number 1.
Nice. Yeah, and you saw it was like there was a good moment there for Big Push Power, and then it just like fell apart. When moments like that happen, you can't like keep forcing stuff. I find that a lot of teams, amateur teams, will do that. They'll like hit a tough moment and they feel like, well, we just got to make Hail Mary after Hail Mary after Hail Mary, and it doesn't work out. And then what ends up happening, the game ends within like the next minute, the next 2 minutes. Take a step back, reset, regroup, and try it again. You've got at least 20 minutes to play this map. You could get to 20 minutes, but instead they let it go to 12. So.
It's okay, you know, it's okay to play it a little bit slower and lose a keep if you're going to stay in the game, but you kind of saw them, they were so committed to trying to keep that bottom keep alive that player after player was going in and getting picked off, you know, up until that point. Sure, they lost that first Web Weaver phase and a bit of structures off of it, but they still were sitting in a turn-ins. There weren't any major fights that made me think that they couldn't turn this game around, but from that point, it was just kind of a snowball there on the side of 30k Violet to end it. Let's take a look at the match summary. 5 to 17 in kills, and I think too, if you just left like the last 2 minutes of the game out, the kills would have been way closer. And popping on over to the talents here, I mean, there was big plays that happened. Like I think you survived that bottom push from 30k, and you're sitting with amazing stay a while and listens were being hit, good warden cages were coming out, you had the wailing arrows to pair on top of that. If they had got to level 20, had that like Deckard upgrade on the ultimate as well, so they come out silenced and stuff, it would have been huge. You could have just shut down everything they were trying to do with the silence off that, then the arrow. So it's unfortunate that it played out the way it did.
Yeah, I'm looking at the Maiev build here. I kind of see what they were going for. They wanted to get the big armor reduction with the big damage, the big AoE stuff coming out from the Wailing Arrow and the Deckard as well. But I think that you could probably put out more damage on a more consistent basis if you just go with the E talents there. I forget what that ability is called. For Maiev, the E talents, there's some percentage based. There's a lot of damage. There's a lot of mobility, and there's a lot of tethers that you can actually do with that. It's burst damage at like level 7 or level 4, something like that on the E. That against that front line, you can chunk them out, and if you don't get them with the first tether, hey, guess what? You got another one up in 2 seconds. You just do it again, and then you just do it again, and then you just do it, and then they're all dead. But definitely, I can see what they were going for. Wasn't able to pay off. I think if they had some significant burst damage there, or they were able to get more consistent tethers, like pools. They have to be pulled for that stuff to that armor debuff to apply. But yeah.
Well, we're ready to get into game number 2 here. The lobby is up. So let's just take a look at the maps here. Game number 1, if you're just tuning in and you missed it, was played on Tomb of the Spider Queen. The win going over to 30k Violet. For game number 2, we are headed to Infernal Shrines. This is a map pick from 30k Violet. Big Push Power opting for first pick after losing game 1. Now Infernal is just another like standard map. I feel no team hates to play on it, and it's really just like who comes to this with a better team fight, who's coming in here and like showing that they're the more skillful team, because there's not a ton of snowballing that happens off of winning objective. It's likely going to go later into the game. We're going to see some good team fights. So what's your thoughts, Goon? What are you thinking is going to play out here?
Yeah, I think we'll see that Hogger probably get banned out again, and then it'll probably be the same thing. There's probably going to be a support choke. We've already seen that. Now, if Big Push Power realizes that and looks to pick up a strong support early, if that's what they want to do, they'll make the adjustment. I think we'll probably see some Leoric happening here again. I think that's okay. Wherever there's a Blaze, there should be a Leoric, at least in my opinion. But there was no Dahaka last game, right? That wasn't something that we saw. Maybe we see a Dahaka here just because of how much bigger the map is relative to Tomb of the Spider Queen. But I still think Leoric is a strong option. Level 20, Leoric is a menace. Whether you go into Silence and Tomb or not, he's pretty difficult to deal with.
Well, we could see a lot of the same picks that we saw on the side of 30k Violet reappear here. Junkrat is great for zoning around the objective with his traps. Hanzo, same thing. Instead of taking a Dragon's Arrow, could opt for the Dragon Strike. Great tool to use for zoning around objectives. If they're taking the Leoric, trapping somebody in the Entomb with the Dragon Strike, Dragon Strike over top of it, also can work here. Really, they could just run it back this time if they wanted to.
Absolutely, that's the beauty about Infernal Shrines. It's such a it's such a balanced map, and for the most part, the different strategies, different play styles can work here, and then ones that you play that are pretty strong on other maps are still just as strong on this one.
Arrow, thank you so much for the raid, coming in with a party of 16. Welcome everybody from Arrow Stream. If you guys don't know me, I'm Jazzalene. I cast a ton of HOTS, so if you enjoy that kind of content, make sure to hit that follow button. We're here casting Big Push Power, taking on 30k Violet this evening. This is a heroic division match. And we're into game number 2 of our best of 3. 30k Violet up 1 in the series. Well, that caster command is not right. That's for Herx. I got to update, but my co-caster's Goon this evening. If you want to go drop him a follow, you can do so there.
I got my own command? What? Oh my god, that's broken.
I don't want to have to go in and update a caster command every night, so all my co-casters just have their own command for my channel. Like you can put basically anyone's name in that command that I've casted with, and it'll give you a link to their channel.
Really? Let's see.
Yeah. I don't know what you're gonna put. You're gonna make a liar out of me now. Oh, look, do you like Plasty? Asmon Gold. Nice. We're gonna see the Rhaegar ban to kick things off here from the side of Big Push Power. Interesting, they're banning Rhaegar from first pick position.
Yeah, that's to me is a big tell. That means that they don't play Rhaegar. So if that's something that you see banned out right away, other teams out there, pay attention. Looks like they don't play this hero, so keep that in mind.
Yeah, I don't even think I would have banned it first, though, even if I didn't play it, because you could have seen 30k Violet opt to get rid of Rhaegar over Joanna, and you could have just forced those bans onto them. Absolutely.
So the way people draft, the patterns that they exhibit tell you a lot about what they think. Theoretically speaking, anyways. But more often than not, this is the case. Now, again, we've got 3 supports off the table. What's it going to be here? Hogger's up.
Yeah, Hogger's up. That's what I was thinking. I wonder if they have a Hogger player. Because if they don't take Hogger here, there's definitely one on the side of 30k Violet. They're opting for the Brightwing. Sleeves Hogger up, and for the picking here for Epic player. We're going to see that and the Tychus, which is one of the best counters to Hogger on Infernal Shrines here. And not only that, but Tychus taking Odin as well gives you even greater siege potential if you do win these Punishers.
Yeah, absolutely. And then, I mean, yeah, like you said, Tychus and Hogger together. Usually one of the responses to Hogger is taking Tychus and just bullying him off the spin. But they got it. They got the... that's what happens. You know, he left some pretty powerful stuff open. But Junkrat and Mephisto right away taking 2 zone control heroes, 2 shrine focused heroes, good wave clear. But you're showing what kind of damage you have, how squishy your team is, and potentially even allowing your opponent to really punish that. But we'll see. We'll see. Maybe not.
Yeah, it is showing quite a bit of your hand to show what your damage is going to be, and your healer at this point too, so you kind of know what they're going to be pumping out for damage, what they can potentially take for damage too. And we're going to see the Garrosh ban from the side of 30k Violet.
It's just going to force a Diablo. Yeah, there you go. But Anubarak is still up. That's still a hero that's very good into these 3 heroes. The type of healing that Brightwing has for these backliners isn't very powerful. Oh, yeah, we're gonna go with the Stitches. They're gonna go with Stitches Malfurion instead. All right, cool. They're gonna hook root. They can gorge the Mephisto away. I probably just would have went with the Nubarak, to be completely honest. Yeah. But Stitches is fine too. That's a playstyle preference. Go for it. Now, what these 2 options, these last 2 picks here coming out for Big Push Power are gonna have. They're gonna have to. They can, I guess, go Anubarak themselves just to web the Stitches, and then here's the Dahaka. The only problem I have with the Anubarak here is he's not going to be burrowing anywhere. You really can't, because you don't have anybody else to kind of come right behind you to help you. And when you do burrow in, Tychus is just gonna press minigun and just delete you. Oh man.
Chat keeps calling Big Push Power Big PP, and every time I read it I giggle a little. There's the Tracer pickup from Lemieux. This is, I think, one of a comfort pick for him. I've seen him play Tracer quite a bit. The one thing I'm not sure about on their side is the Stitches pickup. I don't know if you're going to be able to find the hooks on Infernal Shrines. It's a little bit trickier. Especially around these objectives, so I'll be interested to see if they can make it work, maybe find some flanks and make something happen. But taking a look at these drafts, Goon, what are you thinking? Do you have a favorite here? Do you think 30k secured the 2-0?
I like 30k's draft. You know, their wave clear is pretty good. The Malfurion Stitches combo, historically speaking, is pretty good, right? But also the Malfurion Tracer. That's a pretty good combo as well. You just throw a little regrowth on the Tracer, you let it go zip around, deal some damage, maybe you land a Moonfire, and you just go from there. I don't think, and she's going to be really annoying for Junkrat, for Mephisto. Silvern is going to have to be playing out of their mind here to be able to polymorph this Tracer on a consistent basis and allowing their team to put pressure on that target. But the pressure is coming from Junkrat and Mephisto.
Yeah, there's not really any, like, it's not really like a Vol or something that's very auto attack heavy to kind of shred down a Tracer who's just kind of sticking on you here. They might have some difficulties. Yeah, it's really Brightwing, that's it. And then I don't know that they have enough damage to really even finish her off after the polymorph. She's just going to be able to blink out or rewind out here. Yeah, you know what? I'm going to call it for Big Push Power because I want to see a game 3.
Okay, Copium.
Yeah, Copium, yeah, but we'll see here. Let's get into this game. We're not going to bother reintroducing the teams. You guys know the players already. Nobody changed out. They're mostly sticking in those same roles here.
See, I'm telling you, Jazzy, do it. Isn't that just, like, awesome to do? You're just like, you know what? Let's just get right into it. We don't need to do this whole thing. It feels good. It's liberating. There's that burrow minigun that I was talking about. You see H2O already 20% HP from just pressing E.
C2D2 also getting chunked down here. The phase shift going to be forced on Sovereign. Didn't even look like it did that much to help him out right now. The team's going to start.
It's a different level 1.
Oh, yeah. She's got the polymorph at 1. Interesting.
Uh-oh.
Oh, big root from Zadie catching Mike and H2O. We're going to see the burrow out from Anubarak, but Mike not going to be as lucky here. First blood over to the side of 30k Violet. See if Lemieux can make it out of here, though. Miniken's trying to go in to finish her off, and he's not going to take damage. And there we go. Tychus securing a second kill onto Mephisto.
It's going to be pretty tough. They're pretty tough here, but yeah, we see them right away capitalizing on this on these kills, taking that bottom siege camp. Hawker can do the double soak, easy peasy, get rid of the neutral, and maybe get this next wave and let it crash onto the walls. Do the wave. Okay, all right, Nagram's doing it. I would have liked to see the entire team clear it real quick, but okay, whatever. We'll do all the things at once.
Yeah, Stitches will get it done. He'll get there. Lemieux and Zadie, they're going to start up the siege camp on the side of 30k Violet. We have Big Push Power also looking to grab their siege camp here as well. They still need to worry about clearing out bottom lane.
Level 4's online here for 30k Violet. You know, we've got the aggro range, not bad. Pretty normal stuff I'm seeing here for the most part. For 30k Violet.
Something to keep an eye on is that Master Assassin on Tychus, though.
Yeah, so this is one of those talents that people take just for the baseline functionality that it gives you, and they give you the copian saying that the stacks don't matter. As I say that, the nice burrow onto Albatox and gets knocked back, but oh, there we go. Find the kill. Beetle's OP. C2D2 though burrows in. And it's gonna go down bottom to go get that soak. Nice job there from the side of Big Push Power. We got the Nubarak stun, you got the Junkrat mine, booped him back, and able to get some damage out.
See, both these teams work on taking the Bruiser camp. We already have 30k Violet locking theirs in. Big Push Power about to get theirs, and this first Punisher is going to be a frozen Punisher in the mid lane. Couple members.
Pretty good Punisher.
Yeah, I like kicking things off with the Frozen Punisher, especially when I win it.
True.
But Epic player's here, and we're going to see him set up that line now on Hogger. He's ready to go, and there's the spin. And there's not really much that Big Push Power can do to get him off this objective now that he started it up.
Yep. Maybe you snipe a couple with Junkrat and the Mephisto, and that's how you play it. But it's going to be really hard. You're so cooldown dependent to be able to do that, where Hogger is just hands off the keyboard.
Yeah, I don't think that there's enough poke that Junkrat and Miniken can do to stop this Shrine from going over to 30k, and it's really hard for them. Oh, Dahaka getting picked off here. It's really hard for them to walk into this objective as well.
Yep, it's difficult for sure. Even with the setup comp with the Junkrat and the Mephisto. Ooh, nice. Should be some good resets here, but there's a root and a hook as well. This should be a dead Mephisto. Where's the grenade? Doesn't matter. Not needed. That's a kill going over to the side of 30k Violet, and this Frozen Punisher is going to march down the mid lane and probably get a lot of value here.
My goodness, it's Raid Central in here on stream tonight. Strufslaw, that's Ragu coming in with a raid as well. Welcome, everyone. We're here casting Big Push Power versus 30k Violet Heroic Division game. Look at that root. H2O is going to fall here as they push in for mid-fort. I really don't want to see them staggering deaths again over structures. I hope that they kind of just take a step back, play this slow.
Yeah, they need to. They need to. Man, for those of you that want to know how to deal with the Nubarak, I'm telling you right now, heroes like Tychus are pretty good. Nubarak is one of those heroes that wants to put himself out of position on a fairly consistent basis, and Tychus has a pretty strong button dealing with that kind of playstyle.
30k Violet up a level in XP now. They're going to use this little bit of a window here while the mid's getting cleared up. Those death timers no longer on the side of Big Push Power, but they're not there in time to take their camp, so 30k Violet is just going to start to paint this map red with that invade. They're looking at that neutral siege camp now as they approach level 10s here.
Yep, there's a nice little hook there and a root onto Mephisto, but the critical miss, the soothing miss, able to cleanse that out. And this is actually turning into a little bit of a scrap here. This is a 5v4, but they don't have the damage to be able to kill Stitches. Level 10's online. They got the drag onto Stitches, but he's gonna pick his Gorge right here. Doesn't get the Gorge. Come on. Nope, we get a minion. Okay, all right. Snap, pick your ult, people. Control. Oh, we went bio.
Oh.
Okay, misclick.
I mean, maybe for like better objective fight and shrine clear, potentially. Maybe he's thinking like hooks aren't gonna be what wins them these fights. I don't know.
Yeah.
I just wanted to point out Zadie too, because if I was playing Mephisto right now, I would be really scared to be shaded Mephistoing in, because every time she's got a root waiting for him when he comes back. Every single time it's sitting there.
Yeah, yeah, and I will say, in order for Zadie to be stepping up and throwing a root at the location that Ken is going back to, and not getting punished for that, that's you know that's something that should be addressed here for the side of Big Push Power. Cocoon going out there on the stitches, and Minican putting out lots of damage. Riptire as well. There's a phase shift on the H2O. He burrows charges on the Nagram, but it's not going to matter. He's going to be able to walk away. Should be able to walk away. The future Bile's creating so much space. Drag onto Tracer, but there's not going to be the follow-up in order to secure the kill.
Now they even followed that up with a polymorph, but it still wasn't enough to finish Lemieux off here. H2O getting incredibly low, tries to burrow out. They're going to be the first to fall. Sovereign able to blink heal out of there. Now all eyes on C2D2. Let's see if they have the hook to pull him back into this fight, and not even close. Just trying to walk away, but a lot of members still hanging on to him here. Walking through the bushes, trying to get a little bit of movement speed. There's the bomb out from Tracer, and he is going to fall as well. A 2-for-0 here in favor of 30k Violet. We're still looking at some of the members in bottom and getting some damage onto this bottom fort. Next objective, though, is going to be top. So this means if they can, like, siege this down, I don't think they have enough time to, but they might commit to it anyway since Hogger's ready to go up at top objective.
Oh.
It's a bit risky.
No ult here, just consume souls.
Not enough to find any kills, though. Negrom getting quite low, but still, they are having issues finishing off the members of 30k Violet in these engages. Ooh, nice concussion mine there. Albatrox out of position. There's the polymorph. Here's the Riptire, and they find it. They find the kill finally. Tychus goes down. 1-for-0, but in the meantime, Hogger has started up that objective. They need to remember that's still happening. Dahaka's there to match him, and they're going to continue to fight down here. Mike's going to be the next to fall. The root comes out, catching Sovereign and H2O. Now the polymorph onto Negrom. Sovereign is in trouble, trying to blink heal around and juke Lemieux, but it's not going to work out. He's going to fall next, and now H2O looking like he might be in some trouble. They're going to get the counter kill up in top lane. Dahaka finishes off Hogger up there to take back control of that objective.
That was pretty scrappy. Nice re-engage there coming out of the side of 30k Violet, understanding that enemy team used all their buttons and we've got ours back. The Putrid Bile walking forward, and then Tracer just slowing people down, dealing some damage, and Tracer just going around and picking people off.
Sovereign phase shifting into C2D2. He's been working on this shrine, currently at 25 skeletal defenders for the side of Big Push Power. Mike Miniken now here to help as well. Members of 30k Violet.
Oh.
Ooh, there's a concussion mine out.
Nice
the root comes out from Zadie. Lemieux, look at chasing down Miniken in the back line, eating tower shots here. Lemieux's in trouble. Lemieux's going to get hit by that tower, and they're going to go down. Tracer gets picked off, but in turn, Brightwing and Junkrat fall on the objective. Health bars on the side of 30k Violet still looking very healthy.
Malfurion sustain is really powerful. Unable to get the kills. He can't put out enough damage to get through this front line that 30k Violet has. There's a nice hook there. Good spin. Yeah, Malfurion right now, I think, is a sleeper hero. We see so much Stukov and whatnot that exists. One of the things I like about Malfurion is relative to Stukov is a lot more mobile, and that sounds crazy, right? But Malfurion can throw out his CC and still be able to walk around and do other things. Stukov has to stand still in one place. Malfurion has a pretty decent cleanse. That's a nice one, and then still has some solid sustain option. Heroic and Twilight Dream is very powerful. I would argue he's a very flexible hero. Again, pretty squishy, but here we go. We got a nice engage there over the wall. Almost booping, almost getting the kill there on the epic player, but they're able to reset. Oh, wait, actually.
Oh, my goodness. Oh, here comes the ultimate from Mephisto. Isn't going to do anything, though.
Oh, they kill him before it goes off.
No. Oh, that feels so bad. Oh, I hate that, too, because Mephisto doesn't get, like, the cooldown reduction. It's just full reset on the alts. They find a second kill onto Dahaka. Oh, this feels bad. 13 to 16 in talent tiers here, too. 30k Violet just running away with game number 2.
Yeah, this top keep should be able to go down. Now, again, this is what we talked about on Team of the Spider Queen. Yeah, you're losing structures. You're getting picked off. don't give him any more. This can go to 20 minutes. It doesn't have to end in 12. And just as I say that, they get the hook on the mic.
They might find a kill onto Negrom, though, and they are going to find that. Cocoon is out onto Mephisto for right now. Doesn't matter, though. It's kind of a trade for tank, and now we're going to see Brightwing fall as well, making it a 2-for-1 in favor of 30k Violet. However, there's the counter kills coming out. Down goes Malfurion, and Tyke is here. They're looking for a little bit more if they can find it, but Mike is in trouble with Lemieux sticking onto him. Trying to use those traps to kind of bait her into a route, but it's not working out, and now C2D2 in trouble as well. I don't want to see them int away here and have this game end earlier than it should. Miniken in a bit of trouble. He's under fort, but Lemieux doesn't care. They're just going to go ahead and get that kill as well.
The chase is, you know, it gets a little painful when you got Junkrat at 20% HP running at a Hogger and Tracer. It's a recipe for disaster.
Oh, they have been hanging around in this top lane for a long time here. They got what they needed. They took that keep, and they are sitting in a pretty good position here.
Yeah. Still not over here, though, for the side of Big Push Power. Level 16's just on the horizon, and you still have another objective to play for.
Oh, I'd say those trades were actually very good here for Big Push Powers. I know they got a few kills onto themselves, but because they took a few, they've kind of closed that XP gap. We were looking 13 to 16 a moment ago, and now it's only a level and a bit advantage for 30k Violet. So they're on even talent tiers. They can look to maybe force something with that.
Haka showing topside finishes level 1 quest, the tissue regeneration. I think hitting Stitches is like a debate. You can't do it. You got a Cocoon. There you go. Cocoon to Tychus. Isolation misses on that backside. Epic player hortipulting in and catches two inside that little corridor. Minikin trying to fight for their life. There's a phase shift coming out. Being able to survive. C2D2 though on the backside. It will end up dying. Nice Twilight Dream to be able to cancel that. And looks like they get a counter kill on the Hogger, but Minikin still weak. Zadie looking for more. Doesn't find it. But Nagram on this top side looking for a hook.
Oh, this is scary. He's going to miss it, though, and the members of Big Push Power able to walk behind the safety of their wall here. A 1-for-1 trade on their offlaners in that fight.
12 stacks of Master Assassin. All right, crazy.
We're looking at a...
all that too.
We're looking at an Arcane Punisher this time around in mid lane. Nagrom's gone top to clear out the Bruiser camp from the side of Big Push Power. So there's going to be a lot of pressure in that top lane for Big Push Power to have to deal with here. And they don't have any keep left up there either. So that's potential core damage if they ignore that for too long.
Tracer sitting back here on his flank. These Tychus grenades are doing a lot of damage. Nice root there coming out on a Mike, putting him to sleep. The Boop, though, able to force him away. H2O in a rough position. Tychus in the Cocoon. Phase shift coming out, and looks like they're going to be able to sustain, but Miniken is deep in that shrine.
Oh my goodness. Riptire coming out. Miniken is going to go down. Brightwing goes down, and Mephisto taken out here. It's just an all-out bloodbath as 30k Violet walk away with 4 kills. And I don't even think Hogger needs to bother finishing this objective here. I think it could just go top and end. There's 3 katas on the core. Top's wide open here. Nice long death timers on the side of Big Push Power. This is looking like it's going to be a game 2 to the side of 30k Violet, who will walk away. They will walk away from their first series with a domination tonight. A 2-0 victory over Big Push Power.
GG, well played.
Let's take a look at this match summary in just a moment here. Goon, is this how you thought it was going to play out, or you think it was going to be a lot closer?
Initially thought, I was like, this could be closer. This could be closer. When I saw the draft play out on the first game, I kind of like turned it around a little bit. I was like, okay, maybe not. Maybe he won't be as close as I thought. There were some cool moments. We always see these like little flashes, these moments where teams like Big Push Power shine, and you see it. You're like, okay, there's potential here. They know what's going on. They're thinking about things. Now it's just a matter of cleaning it up, maybe restructuring some of the priorities that they might have, and bringing it all together to find more success later in the season.
Yeah, I think too, I don't know how much Big Push Power has been scrimming and practicing going into Storm or going
Sure.
into Heroic Division, but we know that Epic Player has been, or sorry, I just was looking at Epic Player's face. We know that 30K Violet has been putting in a lot of work with Epic Player, Albatalks, Lemieux, Zadie. They were all participating in Heroes Rise Contender Series, and I know they've been scrimming and doing stuff as well. So, like, they're coming into Heroic Division ready to rumble.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Let's take a look at these talents really quickly. Maybe Goon, you want to talk about that for a minute, and I'm gonna hit up Epic Player and see if they'd like to do an interview.
Right on, right on. Mephisto. I mean, you know, talents. Whatever. Consume souls. We got the skull missile stuff, whatnot. I think though, what happened here to Big Push Power is they fell into this trap where they picked a lot of things that people say are good,
Mm-hmm.
right? Like Junkrat is a good hero. Mephisto is a good hero. Dahaka is a good hero. Anubarak can be a good hero. Brightwing is a good hero. But when you put them together, it doesn't really have an identity, and it doesn't have all of the tools that you need to be able to find success in the match. A lot of teams, a lot of players, a lot of people fall into this trap of just pick the good stuff that's up.
Mm-hmm.
There are things that are probably in a vacuum not as good as like a Mephisto, for example, but in the current draft setup that you have and what the opponent is drafting is better than that Mephisto. So just keep an eye out for that in your own games. Just because it is a good hero, you can't slap it with four other good heroes and come up with a good draft. You got to have all the tools that you might need. You need your engage, you need peel, you need sustain, you need wave clear, you need an off lane. And then how do those things sit? And then how are you fighting? Are you team fighting? Are you going to be focusing on the objective? Are you macroing? Are you picking people? Are you uh, double support? Artillery, whatever. But anyways, if you want to know more about that, you drop me a follow and we can talk sometime.
Yeah, no, do go drop Goon a follow. He does amazing things over on his channel. If you haven't been catching his the Source show he's been doing with Crushinator, it's very entertaining. He has great guests on. It gives you different perspectives in the game, and he gets some spicy opinions in there too. So make sure you go drop Goon a follow. Let's go ahead. We'll meet Epic Player down in the NGS Discord. You're in there, right?
Yep, yep.
Okay, we'll drop into lobby 2 with him, and we'll do a quick interview and see what's up with 30K Violet.
All right.
Hello, Epic Player. Congrats on the win tonight. How are you guys feeling after that series?
Pretty good. Chilling,
You guys have been doing a lot of work. We've seen you playing in a lot of things like Heroes Rise Contender Series. Have you guys been scrimming outside of that, or is just Heroes Rise Contender Series been your kind of scrims in practice?
We've mostly been scrimming with our HRCS roster, so instead of with Nagaram and Limu, we've been playing with Gunner and Panda Colada. But now that HRCS is over, we'll probably be scrimming more with this roster until future RCS seasons get announced.
So how comfortable with Nagrom being a little bit like newer to your core here were you guys going into tonight?
I'd say by this point we're pretty comfortable. He's definitely more aggressive than Gunner, so it's been a bit of an adjustment just trying to get used to the two different play styles of our two tank players.
Okay. All right. Goon, do you have some questions you want to toss out here?
Yeah. The Hogger, man, I thought it was like on retirement, but it made an appearance today. Is that hero? I think is pretty solid and something that more people should be picking up on. What happened? I'm curious for you, where the Hogger kind of fell off in priority in the other things that you were competing in.
I mean, everyone's just banning him against me. Like every time I want to pick Hogger, it's like it's banned. Not much else I can do.
Okay.
And
okay.
Other than that, like it's just depending on the map. Blaze and Dahaka are also pretty high priority. So it kind of just depends on the map too. Like on more macro maps, I'd rather play like a Dahaka or that. And so yeah, it's mostly just that a lot of teams are banning Hogger again. So haven't gotten to play him as much.
Going into tonight's series, did you do much scouting onto Big Push Power? Did you have an idea of what you were going up against?
I mean, we played against them, 1 or 2 times, so there wasn't a whole lot of scouting we needed to do. Like, there's not like any pocket picks that we were too worried about. So, if there's no like niche pocket picks, one example is like Seven Rings. They have Cyrus, who's like the
Yeah.
Rexar Deathwing. So like, as long as they don't have any pocket picks, we're not too worried. We're just focused on playing our game, and we're not really worried about what the other team's doing.
One last question here for you from me. You guys really tried your hardest getting into Storm Div this season. Unfortunately, it didn't work out. I was wondering your team's feelings on being placed in Heroic Division this season and what you're kind of expecting of your team.
I mean, obviously, we would have rather been playing in Storm Division, but we didn't show up when it counted, so we're just here, and I guess we'll just have to qualify for Storm Division by winning Heroic. So I believe that's what one of the teams qualified for that way, right?
Yeah, that is. The winner of Heroic automatically gets into Storm Div next
So
season.
we'll just have to do that and not worry about qualifiers next time.
True.
So that's an optimistic way of looking at it.
That's the real hack.
The real hack. Goon, any last questions here before we get into some shoutouts?
No. GG's. Well played. You guys look good. You guys look comfortable and ready to play.
A little bit of robot Goon here. Epic Player, take it away. Any shoutouts?
Well, yeah, just shoutouts to you guys for casting and the rest of NGS for putting these tournaments together for everyone to play in. Shout out to my teammates and to Nagram for filling in for us since we couldn't really find a tank for NGS. He said he'd be willing to step in for us. So shout outs to Nagram too. And shout outs to all the rest of the 30K staff, especially Slexia, who does a lot for us behind the scenes. And shout out to our coach, Not Paradox, as well.
Oh, I didn't know you were getting coached by Not Paradox. I probably should have known that. But
yeah, he's been coaching us since the first split of RCS.
Okay. All right. Well, best of luck in this season of Heroic Division. I'm excited to see if you guys do end up with that winning spot to get into Storm Div for next season. I think it'll be a very interesting division to watch. There's some very seasoned teams in your division and some very skillful players. So congrats on the domination tonight. Looking forward to seeing how the rest of the season plays out for you guys.
Yep, thank you.
Thanks. Bye-bye.
Peace.
Bye.
All right, let me get Goon back up here. We'll wrap things up in just a moment. We'll get our faces back on camera in a second here too. Goon, why don't you go ahead and tell everyone where they can find you, a little bit of what you do. I hear you're like an org owner or something.
Oh my god. Yeah, I'm the org owner for Wildheart Esports CCL team, and Wildheart Omega is our academy team. You may see them in Storm Division. You may have seen them in HRCS as well. Shout out to them. Wildheart Esports CCL team plays third in CCL this season, and then Wildheart Omega played second yesterday in the HRCS, and we're in Storm Division. So looking forward to seeing what they're doing. I'm also in Storm Division, by the way. My team name is $1 Million JPEG. So just be on the lookout for that team monkeying around. And yeah, you guys can follow me on Twitch, twitch.tv/GoonGGWP, on Twitter, GoonGGWP. Follow Wildheart Esports at Wildheart Esport, and then the YouTube also. Just on YouTube, just type in Wildheart Esports. You'll see us up there. Drop a sub there. Drop a like on the videos. I'll be posting the last episode of The Source. It's a competitive Heroes of the Storm podcast talk show that I do with Crushnator and Frosty. And the last episode we had Dino from 30K and Slug Hunter from Wildheart Esports. And then the episode before that we had Bahamut and Justing on. We talk about competitive Heroes of the Storm, meta stuff, you name it. It's all there. Maybe we drop a little juice, a little spice, and flame some people. Maybe not. Who knows? But yeah, give it a follow and let me know what you think. And yeah, thanks for having me.
No, thank you for coming and joining me tonight. It was a ton of fun. I love doing like the pre-show and stuff with you and hearing all
That's
your
fun.
takes. It is fun.
Yeah.
I love it. I said earlier, I'm going to try and do that more often when I pick up these casts. I like kind of breaking down what's going on in the division, giving a little bit of a story, a little bit of something for you to chew on while we cast these matches and kind of keep up with these teams. We're going to send it on over to Ohede. She's playing some Heroes of the Storm right now, so maybe we can jump in. She's part of the Wild Heart stream team. And an all-around wonderful person. So we'll send you on over there. I will be back on Wednesday to cast the Storm Div match of We Take It the Wayeth versus Pre-Workout Power. They changed their name. They were not fans. They got some additions to their roster. And now they're pre-workout power. So that should be a fun matchup. There's a lot of CCL players on those two teams. So I'd come check that out. That's going to be Wednesday at 7 p.m. Pacific, 10 p.m. Eastern. And Plasticine, another Wild Heart Stream team member, is going to be joining me to co-cast that. So that should be a ton of fun. She's a blast to cast with. So come check that out on Wednesday. Until then, have yourselves a wonderful rest of your week. And say hey to Ohede. Bye, guys.